Wyllie. Today, we're going to do my other favorite archetype, the creator. Yesterday, I did the rebel. And yes, on yesterday's video, I told you that the two archetypes of Carl Jung's that I identify with the most are the rebel and the creator. To the surprise of very few, the creator character archetype embodies those who like to make things, such as sculptors, painters, any kind of artist, writer, writing a book, making a painting, sculpture, making a sculpture. Now, because of that, I thought I would introduce my paintings. This one first is of a white crane. I painted that. I made it. I also made it into a 3D effect. Okay, I did not do the butterfly. I painted the white crane. I painted that all by hand. But I glued feathers. I glued the grass. All this is like glued. And 3D butterfly. See? I did not make that butterfly. I just take credit for painting the crane, the white crane. That's it. That's all I painted. I didn't make the butterfly. I glued him on. He's like 3D. If you can see, he's 3D. And the grass. And this hangs in my office in the dining room. The next painting I did, and that's all I'm going to show you, just two, I'm not going to waste all your time, is the toucan! Toucan Sam! I painted him. See that? That is, I painted him, not paint by numbers or dots. I really painted this guy. That's Toucan Sam. And he's hanging up in my dining room too with the white crane. So I really identify with the creator. I don't know which one I identify more, the rebel or the creator. But maybe the creator. Probably a little more than the rebel. I love to create. I always say my two best creations were my sons, Alex and Austin. But I loved it. So, getting back to the creator archetype is usually some sort of artist, right? Inventor, scientist, musician, writer. You know how many books I've written? Musician, yeah, I said that. I love to do the karaoke's. Creator archetypes are usually single-minded in their pursuit to bring something new into the world. I just love to create. I love to make things. It just makes me feel alive inside. That I'm bringing new things. I'm putting new things. It gets me excited. Okay, it really gets me excited. But like all the other archetypes, creators are simple, two-dimensional characters. They require complexity and flaws. They can be amazing, but they also can be fallible, like everyone else, right? So, let's see. What is the creator archetype? When I say that creators like to make things, that is intentionally vague. The creator archetype is like an umbrella. It can hold many different types of characters. Perhaps one creator is a sculptor, while another one only cares creating new medical invention, right? You don't necessarily think of that person as an artist or a creator. Regardless of what their creation is, creators only care about bringing that thing, what they're making, to life. That is their prime focus. That is what their drive is, their passion. That is what they live for. And as a result, they use their imagination and creativity to push the boundaries of what we know and what is real. And that is me to a T. I love pushing boundaries to make things, you know. I mean, abstract painting. I know there's other artists out there. I know you're out there, you know, and you have your own channel and you love to create and you're artist. If it already exists, a creator really doesn't care about it. Recreating or repeating something is meaningless to this archetype. So they want to be original, right? They don't want to do something that's already out there. Creators are trailblazers. Love that word, trailblazers. You know, Renaissance people, leaders, and forward thinkers. Others will view this character as ahead of their time and obsessively committed to perfecting that one thing. I mean, I go to open studios all over the place, not just where I live, okay? I just don't go to the Rosendale one. I go to the one in Jamaica Plain. I go to the Natick one. They're everywhere, open studios. And what open studios is, if you have never heard of it before, is all these artists have their homes, open up their homes and display their art. It could be sculptures. It could be paintings. It could be drawings. It could be knitting. It could be photography. It could be jewelry. It could be pottery. I can go on and on and on. And like usually it's on a weekend, like a certain Saturday and Sunday between the hours of like 11 and 5, you can go in their homes, open studio. They open their homes and you can purchase their art, their handmade art. And I love it. I love going to open studios. Sometimes I have it in school buildings or other buildings that be aside from their homes. Some of the artists have it out of their homes. Others go to studios or, you know, art galleries or different places, you know, in town to display their artwork. What do creator archetypes do? Creators can play a pivotal role in fiction. They usually aren't the main character in stories. In more realistic settings, creators can solve a math problem or complete their artistic masterpiece. Now, here's the most thing to focus on. What are the typical creator archetype characteristics? Besides that, we love to use our hands. The more positive traits of the creator are they're authentic. So no phonies here, right? Creative, driven, very true. Imaginative, that's probably going to be the top one. Intelligent, thank you very much. Non-conforming, definitely. And that's where the rebel comes in too. Creators are non-conforming. Passionate. I'm an extremely passionate person. Some people think that, you know, passion is about sex. That's not all passion is sex. Sure, I mean, you can have passionate sex, but not all sex is passionate. Believe me, I know firsthand. But passion is just like a deep desire to do something that makes you feel alive. You can feel passionate about painting. You feel alive and energetic and inspired when you paint. You could be passionate about that. You can be passionate about fashion. You know, there's like a gazillion things, all right? But practical, I gotta say, I'm not the practical type. So, but that's what it's saying is one of the characteristics of the creator. But me personally, I'm not a practical person. Talented. Thank you very much. Egotistical. Well, to be completely honest, I gotta say, I am a little bit egotistical. A little. Immoral. Ooh. Having affairs. Stealing. Watch the video, I'm a kleptomaniac. I don't do that anymore. I don't have affairs. I don't steal. But immoral, yes. I've got to say I definitely was an immoral person. If you read my books, if you watch my videos, you know I did immoral things. You know I had adulterous affairs. If you watch these videos and buy my books and read them, you'll know that I stole. That at one time I was a kleptomaniac. So I broke the law. So that makes me immoral. Impulsive. Yay! Yes! That's part of the borderline personality disorder. I'm extremely impulsive. I'm much better now. I'm more staid, you know. I'm I'm not impulsive anymore. I think a lot. I don't just jump into things like I used to. Before, I was extremely impulsive. I just go dive right in, right? Not anymore. As I've gotten older and I've been badly burnt in life by people, my impulsiveness has gone way down the Richter scale. Insensitive. I can be insensitive sometimes to people. If I'm caught up in something of my own, I can ignore how someone else feels about it because I'm so caught up in whatever like is important to me that I can, like I said, I had tunnel vision. I said this in another video. It might have been the last one. I have this tunnel vision and I'm caught up in my own thing that I can be insensitive to other people's needs or wants because I'm so driven on that one goal, on that what I want, that everything else or other people's feelings kind of like go by the wayside. I'm just being totally honest because I do these videos, I come out and I want to be totally honest with people. I don't want any masks. Authenticity, okay? Perfectionist? I know people who are a lot more perfectionist than I am. I wouldn't exactly say I'm a perfectionist. In some areas I am. It's true. But sometimes I just want things done so bad. I'm so driven that I just rather get it done than have it perfect. So I'm guilty of that. Like, even when I write my books, I'd rather, like, I just want to get it done than have it perfect. So I really wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, because if I really was a perfectionist, there wouldn't be so many mistakes in my books. Because I don't have thousands of dollars for an editor and a literary agent. So, selfish, single-minded, and unreliable. I do have to admit I am a selfish person. I am. Yes, I definitely am selfish. I never really thought of creators in general, that archetype, as being selfish. But speaking solely from my own personal place, I am selfish. I've always been selfish. Like, I really want what I want when I want it. A psychologist, look up 𝗙𝗵𝗁𝗄𝗄, Dr. 𝗙𝗵𝗄𝗄. Look him up. Google him. Dr. 𝗙𝗵𝗁𝗄𝗄, 𝗙𝗵𝗁𝗄𝗄. He was my psychologist in Children's Hospital. That's a very long story and very complicated. But he's the one who said, I want what I want when I want it. And everyone else can go to hell. And that's exactly dead on the money, dead on the money. Okay, so examples of creator archetypes in popular culture. Creators have been staples in pop culture for decades. Now, when it comes to these sort of characters, it's easy for the audience to connect with their desire to accomplish something bigger than themselves, even if that desire isn't a very nice one. Now, here's some examples. Iron Man, Tony Stark, from Marvel Comics. It's Tony's creative trait that pushes him to create the first Iron Man suit. I mean, you watch it. I love Iron Man. I watched Iron Man. I love Iron Man. Tony Stark, damn, hot. He's hot. So, yes. While he is being held prisoner, allowing him to escape. But after that, he continues to make new Iron Man suits, improving his creation to tackle any threat that might present itself. So for those, Iron Man, Tony Stark fans, he is a creator. Dr. Victor Frankenstein isn't as popular today as he was in the past, Frankenstein, but he is gold standard for a flawed creator. With bolts coming out of me neck, I ain't no Gregory Peck. That's Frankenstein. A brilliant doctor, Frankenstein stops at nothing to bring this creation to life. He robs graves to assemble body parts, but it is ultimately disappointed when his creation doesn't live up to his standards, because it's so ugly. But doesn't Frankenstein get a bride? Frankenstein then pays the price for his creation through the death of those around him, especially his newly wedded wife, and ends up dedicating his life to destroying the monster. So those are a couple of creators out there. Now you might know some more, or you could probably think of more. I mean, of course, the famous Picassos, you know, Rembrandts, you know, Emily Dickinson, the writers. They're all over the place. And I bet you have a creative side too. Well, I really enjoyed doing this video on the creator, because that's how I see myself as much as a rebel. And, you know, we have great characteristics, and as I mentioned, like selfish, you know, we also have flawed ones, you know, single-minded, selfish, and moral. So I didn't put this together. I didn't say these are the characteristics, okay? I didn't make this up. I'm just telling you, you know, from my knowledge from reading this. This is, you know, so I didn't make this up. But so there you have it. Everything in life has a good side and a bad side, right? Every archetype is going to have a shadow side, right? We already talked about the shadow side. All right, until next time, take